What's good, YouTube? It is Dr. D and I am back with another video. I am coming today to share, y'all. It's nighttime actually over here, y'all. See, I'm in my sleeper and it is so comfy. Ooh, that white is clean. The light is just right. But I'm coming to y'all to share my experience today with getting an amniocentesis. And it was by far one of the scariest things I had to do today, or one of the scariest decisions I had to make, like right at last minute at the high-risk doctor's appointment. And I thought it was gonna be really excruciating pain. I think the biggest thing was trying to make a decision on whether I should do it or not. But basically, I went into my appointment, and one of the things I didn't share with y'all, which I'll probably share in the next video, is my experience as getting the cerclage. I had that done last week, and that was also a hard decision to make, as well as something where I was actually rushed to the ER to do right after my appointment. But far as the amniocentesis, usually when you are high risk and over 35, they have you take that test, and I denied it when I was pregnant with Dionna. But this time around, I felt like I had no choice. I had taken 2 of the, I think it's called NIPT tests, that determine whether your baby has Down syndrome, markers and chromosomes for that, and other few things that's on there. And both of those came back negative. And for some reason, I felt it was in my spirit to take a third one. And the third one was actually the state version of the test. And that test came back with me screening as positive for having, well, the baby, me screening positive for the baby to have spinal bifida, or serious problems that can happen with the lower extremities, future gastro problems, stuff like that. And so I was told it's just a screening, and that you need to follow up with an ultrasound to make sure that that wasn't correct. And one of the things I found out today from my high-risk doctor is that he said that test, he sees it all the time where the test will say one thing and it's not as accurate. Now, I've taken those 3 different tests 3 times where I shouldn't have taken them but once. And in that time frame between taking those tests, I have grown bigger. The gestational sac has gotten older. The baby's gotten bigger. And they said that when you take this test more in the early stages, it is a more indicative of the truth, meaning the earlier test was more true than the test that I took recently, the last one. So out of the 3 tests, all the markers for Down syndrome and all the other chromosomes that comes on that test was negative. That was the one that said I tested positive at a higher risk than the normal rate for what they would mark for spinal bifida and any other spinal issues. So today, high risk wanted to see me and be sure, like it was so adamant that I was in today to see, to get a test on the ultrasound to determine if there was anything wrong with the spine. And after like being in there for 30 or 40 minutes, the ultrasound tech, she was doing so much, taking so many pictures and just spending so much time. I kind of felt a little nervous actually, that I just kind of put my phone up so that I can kind of not be thinking about how long I was in it, because it was really long. Usually when you get an ultrasound, you're in it for like 10-15 minutes at the tops. And for her, she was on my stomach for 40 minutes and just probing and probing. And then they did the vaginal area as well, where they did an additional check for the cervix because of the issues I've been having in the past couple of weeks, which again, I'll share in the next video. And so after doing that, then the high-risk doctor comes in, review her work, and then determine what he sees. And this is the process every week, because at this point every week I have to go in and see the doctor, which is still too early for that, but at this point I don't really have a choice. But they came in, they actually he came in, he spent his time, what was like another 20 minutes that was just killing me, but he says, finally, I don't see anything that is a spinal issue. I don't see that the baby has any spinal bifida. I don't see that they have anything with Down syndrome. I don't see if they have anything cleft lip, cleft palate, because that was also a concern that I had. early on because of the things I was taking prior to knowing that I was pregnant. I think I shared that already in another video, and if not, I can share it in the future. But as of right now, that was a good sign. But he said to me, you can still take the amniocentesis to be 100% sure. Well, I had already declined that in the few weeks that I had been seeing him. So today I had to go back on my word on that and I actually talk to my mom, my husband, and decide what was the best thing to do at that moment, because I had to make a decision right then and there. When you get to maybe 20 weeks, they don't really let you take that test. They're saying that you're too old to take the test, and it's better, again, to determine that stuff early on before you get further along in the pregnancy. And so after about 15 minutes of debating with my mom and debating with my husband, I actually decided to take the test. And it was a few minutes after that. They took like a few minutes. I think it said 15 minutes to prep me. So while he was prepping me, I was getting a little nervous, and I just was kind of, I'm not a person that's scared of needles, but I was getting nervous of what the poke would feel like in the stomach. Prior to me saying yes, the doctor had said, well, if I was you, I wouldn't take it. He says, you got a healthy baby now. We don't see anything else going on. And he says, if you take it, you risk puncturing the sac and going into a miscarriage. And he said that about 4 times, that I was pretty nervous. He made my nerves even worse once he said it, and then he wanted to rush me to make a decision. And so after praying and, you know, just believing that I was going to be okay, taking a minute to myself, I went in the bathroom, I got on my knees, I prayed. I just was like, okay, I'm good. I think it's going to be okay. And that was after talking to my mom and my husband. I still had to kind of make a decision on, you know, what I wanted to do. Even though they had helped me, I still had to make the decision myself. And so we went on in with the process. Again, you lay down and they do it, stick the needle into your stomach. I thought it was from a side angle, but it was actually from the front. And I'll insert a picture of what that looks like, as well as I'll show you guys in a few seconds. But he prepped me. He told me to count from 1 to 54. And he started to numb the area, and he said, you're going to feel 3 pricks. By the time I got to 24, he was actually done. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. And so the purpose of me sharing this with you guys is to let you know that anyone who's going through this and considering doing an amniocentesis, it is not that bad, and you can get through it. And I think normally this test is done for someone who has gained more weight than where I'm at right now. And so for me to not still feel bothered by it, and then again, I am a person that I'm not afraid of needles. So I think all those factors help me. I think I was just thinking of something just going into your stomach straight on. And that wasn't the case. It actually was like going up under the top layer skin. Now, also while he was doing that, the ultrasound tech was trying to determine where the baby was at to make sure that they wouldn't touch the baby. And that's why they say it's a huge risk, because they could actually not only puncture the sac, but also hurt the baby. And either way, this process can cause the early miscarriage. So I have to rest for 24 hours and be sure that I don't do much to try to hinder my recovery, as well as not try to put my body into something that can cause a miscarriage. So those are a few things, but the overall process was not that bad. It was over before I knew it, and I think that anyone who's going through this can definitely, who has to make this decision, can get through it, because it was just pretty simple. I think I was just more nervous because not knowing what to expect, and then a needle in your stomach. I mean, who wants to deal with that? But it was okay. And so with that said, that's where we are now in the pregnancy and what I'm dealing with. I'm glad that's over with. I think I have a few more tests that are important that is going to determine if I have more things to do, because as you guys know, I've already been sharing that I've been dealing with a lot during this pregnancy, and I got more to share with you guys. But this test comes back in 2 weeks, and when it comes back, I will be back to you guys with another video. Okay guys, I forgot to show my actual belly. Okay, which is really private, so I gotta try to show without showing my boobs. Mom. So this is the scar area.
Wait, I want to show them.
Exactly where they did it. And so, come on. Like, comment, subscribe, and put the bell on so you don't miss any notifications. Please do share that with me below. Other than that, let me see. I think I've answered everything that I could answer about this process. Thought it was something else I was going to say. If not, I'll share it in the next video. Thank you guys. We out.